G'day all, I'm number one Machop fan and this is Machop's Bulletin. First to our top story. Australia's Wimbledon tennis campaign has been brought into disrepute after two of its players, Bernard Tomic and Nick Kyrgios, both made derogatory comments regarding disabled people. Tomic during a post-match interview when he said he had to stand around on the court for an hour then he laughed and used the R word, which will not be repeated on this channel. And Kyrgios during a match when he used the same label to describe one of his support team members. Both players have since apologised, but the pair of incidents has brought to the surface the ugly side of society, especially in regards to ableism, which is discrimination against disabled people. Ableism is an issue that is almost never addressed. While we have massive public campaigns against racism, sexism, homophobia, there is nothing of the sort against ableism. It seems way too many people actually embrace ableism in their culture. All too often, I see people cast out of societies, both big and small, just because they're different, regardless of how different they might be. In fact, I myself cop it frequently because my personality is not normal. In my defense, contrary to popular belief, I do not have autism or any form of disability, despite my one-of-a-kind personality. However, I do have two cousins on the autism spectrum and an older brother who suffers from a severe intellectual disability. This brings up another related issue. The only people who seem to care about disabled people are those who have to live with disability daily, even if they themselves are not disabled. People who do not have to constantly live with such a person have a very nasty habit of fobbing off, excluding, or in many cases openly abusing disabled people. The Pokemon community is not immune to it either. I've seen fellow Pokemon players being abused by ableist community members multiple times over the past decade of playing competitively. You know who you are if you've ever abused or neglected a disabled person, and frankly, you should hang your heads in shame. Now, before anyone leaves a comment saying, "Oh, this is the 21st century, everything offends everyone," while you may be right in that aspect, you are also proving me right by trying to avoid your own social weakness and actively trying to avoid doing anything about your attitude. I will not rest in my campaign for respect and for the disabled until I start seeing respect for the disabled in normal society. Rant over. In other news, to Australia's federal election, even though it's been 3 days since Australians who did not compete at the Pokemon Video Game National Championships, or Trading Card Game National Championships, went to the polls to vote, we still do not know the end result. And a hung parliament could still be a very real possibility. Both of our major parties, Liberal and Labour, are neck and neck with, I think, 67 to 68 seats. And there are still, I think, 10 seats whose results are still undecided, including the seat I'm in, which is looking to be one of the most marginal in the entire country. And it could be weeks before we have a final result. In the Pokemon department, a whole bunch more new Pokemon have been announced. They are as follows. Drampa, who is a normal dragon type, the first of its kind, who reminds a lot of people, me included, of that big white fluffy dragon from the movie Neverending Story. Its ability is Frenzy, which gives it a special attack boost after it is hit by a certain type of attack. Not sure at this stage what that attack exactly is. Togedemaru is an electric fairy type, the 7th generation Pikachu clone, with the special abilities of Lightning Rod and Iron Barbs. Now the million polka dollar question here is will it be able to learn Follow Me? We all remember how powerful Pachirisu was with its Follow Me at the 2014 World Championships, and in Iron Barbs, Togedemaru could be even better if it had Follow Me. Cutiefly is a bug fairy type, which kind of looks like a firefly with 6 legs. It reminds me a lot of the Vivas from the DOS era computer game series Commander Keen, specifically Commander Keen 6, Aliens Ate My Babysitter. When Vivas were collectible items, collect 100 and you get an extra life. Or collect 1 blue Queen Viva and she by herself will give you an extra life. I'll post the relevant link in the description below so you can make a comparison. Bruxish is a water psychic type, which is basically a blue, purple, swirly coloured fish with a flower or bud on its head, which reminds me of the Pikmin, because they often have flowers or buds on their heads. Its ability is Dazzling, which grants immunity to priority moves, a direct counter to the ever-popular Prankster. No doubt we will be seeing this, or its evolved form if it evolves, in VGC 17. I'm absolutely certain of it. Charger Bug is a bug electric type, the evolved form of Grubbin, and it looks like a bus. Yay, a Pokemon based on public transport! Respect! Its ability is Battery, which increases the special attack of its partners in double and triple battles. It would be interesting if we saw that ability in some other Pokemon as well. Could be useful in VGC 17. Very similar to Friend Guard. Although that said, Friend Guard is also hard to come by. There's only one fully evolved Pokemon that can use that at the moment, and that's Vivillon. Vikavolt is also a bug electric type. Is the evolved form of Charger Bug. Tapu Koko is an electric fairy type, and is the first Pokemon to have 2 words in its name. Tapu Koko. It is the guardian of Meremere Island, and has the ability Electric Surge, which creates an electric terrain as soon as it enters the field. And that could open something brand new in the Pokemon games. If we had more abilities with more terrains, that could add an entirely new layer element to VGC as well. Last of all, regarding the Machop to the Top series, I do not have a new team yet, not even close, but I know what team I'm planning to use. Spoiler alert, it's going to be the Groudon Yveltal Jumpluff core. In the meantime, I'm currently training a Clefairy. Based on my result at the National Championships, where I only ended up going 5-4 because of tilt. Yes, I tilted at National Championships, and in all that week of training beforehand, I feel so embarrassed. But I learned a lot at that tournament, and I'll be replacing Togekiss with Clefairy on the recent Gravity team, and continuing to use that for a while, until the new team is ready. Because its Friend Guard and After You moves could be particularly useful, especially in Trick Room. #1 Machop fan, Machop's Bulletin.